All right. We are live.
We are live.
I'm
This
alive.
is going to be such an interesting episode.
You live turkeys.
Oh, that's fun. I like that.
No, don't get used to that. I used it up.
Oh.
Did turkeys used to just run around all over the place when we were younger, or is it just me that it seems like they just started doing that the last few years?
Turkeys are awful.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
They probably did run around.
We also didn't have like winters that were this mild either. You know, like they would like, I don't know, go hibernate or whatever turkeys do. What do turkeys do?
I don't know, but you know what birds do now? These little bitty birds that should not be here. They should be south or something. They fly in our buses and in the windows, and if you leave the door cracked, they'll fly in and then poop all over everything.
Whoa.
And then just live in there until you come back, and then you have to take them out, and they try to like fly at your head and stuff. It's such a pain in the butt. That's got to be global warming right there. Equal birds. Yeah.
Swooping things are the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Bats and birds and those kinds of things.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty global warming.
Agreed.
How about you, Randall?
Sorry, I was muted because I was typing. I'm just doing the, beginning of the show promotion pimpage thing, sending out links and stuff. So what about me? Birds.
Yeah.
I used to complain when I lived in Fremont and I had a driving job. Particularly, there's this one street where constantly I'd be driving down the street and, it was in like, what was I driving? Like an S10 type thing, like a little pickup. And all the time birds would fly in front of the truck and in front of the windshield. And I'd be always hitting birds. And I'm like, I am a ground-based creature. You have literally like miles above me. You can fly. Why are you guys always right here getting hit by my truck? Like, what is this? You're a bird. How hard can it be to avoid a vehicle? We can't fly. You go up there. So
yeah, I've been driving down the interstate and had a bird like kamikaze into the front of my car.
Yeah, we had a turkey kamikaze in front of your car,
but it didn't. I don't know if it died, but it didn't break the windshield. I was amazed.
That was horrifying.
It was.
It hit a full-grown turkey. Picture a full-grown turkey deciding I'm going to body slam your windshield while you're going highway speeds. I don't know how it didn't break the window.
I don't know, but it was amazing.
The sound, I could still hear the sound of that was straight turkey breast. I could hear the sound still. That was several years ago now.
Yeah, it was
around some holiday, probably Thanksgiving.
I kind of want to draw like a kamikaze turkey now. I don't know what that would look like.
It had a death wish, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be an interesting show. Everybody's in kind of a interestingly subdued mood today. So there's more Doctor Who to talk about. I don't know if listeners or viewers are getting bored of these reviews or not. I honestly don't have too much to say about this latest episode. And then there's a bunch of entertainment news. We've got sequels and remakes to talk about, of course.
Sweet.
That's the entertainment news. What's being remade now? There's actually one remake that intrigues me. So what do you guys want to do first? Do you want to do Doctor Who? Do you want to do movie or TV and movie news? Also, viewers, I see we have a few of them. Chat us up. Hit us up in the chat, and what do you want us to do?
I'm also doing like a watch party right now, so I've got a few viewers over there. What I didn't realize is that you guys won't be able to see the watch party comments.
You'll just have to relay them to
us. So if you guys are in the watch party that I started, because I don't know what I'm doing, and you have things that you want us to react at, just let me know, and I'll do that. That's what I'll do.
Can I share this? I need to share this in the Grawlix group as well. If you're watching, give us a shout out as to where you're seeing this, because I try to put it all kinds of places. I don't know where people like to see this.
Lisa says that we should talk about remakes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. The one bit of remake news, I'm kind of glad, because this is a story. This is the last story I added to the list, and it's possibly the only one that's really that interesting to me. And it's not even that interesting. All right. So
we're really selling this one.
I know.
You're welcome, Lisa. Also, thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you.
I appreciate the direction. So according to Deadline, Kung Fu movie remake set at Universal, by the director of Hobbs and Shaw and a co-director of the first John Wick. What else did he do? Oh, that Atomic, stylish action director. Once is going to remake Kung Fu, apparently. The old David Carradine, should have been Bruce Lee TV series.
It's going to be a series, or it's going to be a movie?
I believe it's going to be a movie. Universal Pictures has optioned the rights to the 1972 TV series Kung Fu for a contemporary set, action-packed feature film. Now, having seen a bit, it's been a long time, but quite a bit of the Kung Fu series, honestly, action-packed is not what I think of when I think Kung Fu. I remember that show being very slow and kind of quiet and meditative in a way. But that said, I mean, if you're doing a modern remake of Kung Fu in movie form, it's going to be an action movie.
Right.
I'm actually not totally opposed to this. I'm okay with this, because Kung Fu is a cool property, but like, I mean, if they're not going to hurt it, right? Like, it's not like, it's not one of these things where you're going to get a bunch of outrage from people, because I don't think it's that popular of a, it's weird to call it a franchise, even of a series now. Mm-hmm. And nobody's doing anything with it, so why not? Unless it's total trash, and then they should be ashamed of themselves, because Kung Fu is not a bad show.
Plot twist: Grasshopper can't take the pebble from his hand. Movie's over.
Well, I didn't watch Hobbs. I'm just gonna keep blowing right past it. I never watched Hobbs and Shaw, so I don't really care. I don't know, but co-director of the first John Wick, the John Wick series is great.
Yeah.
And something called Deadpool 2. I don't know if you guys seen that one.
Oh,
He also directed that. So,
I mean, he can't be perfect. I kid. I love that movie.
So, yeah. That's all the news on that.
Is Keanu Reeves going to be the Kung Fu guy?
Man. Ooh.
It feels like this is their opportunity to kind of make that casting right. You know what I mean? To like do good by Kung Fu and Asian Americans, or just Asians in general.
Yeah.
Because,
So they're going to cast Keanu Reeves.
Probably. You know what? You're probably right.
Ben Kruger, good friend Ben, he says, takes the pebble, enters the Matrix.
Oh, that's it. He needs to be offered 2 different colors of pebble.
Oh man, he has to snatch the right one from the hand. Boom.
Mm-hmm. And that's how we get the Matrix 4.
And Lisa has she has conflicted feelings about this, because she started out by saying no remake, but I think she softened to the idea when she realized that it could be like a hidden crouching tiger, hidden dragon kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get her reaction to it, because I mean, I just said it's not when I say it's not a popular series, it's not one that's like, it's just before a lot of our times. Some of us we're still young whippersnappers that are 40 or almost 40.
Or well past 40.
Like, yeah, or well past. But I don't know. It's not a series that's been trampled on before. So it's like, well,
So why not? Let's just
well,
trample
no,
on
it's
it.
like I'm willing to give them the opportunity to do the right thing.
Oh yeah.
And if it does super well and we get some type of kung fu resurgence, I'm all for that. I kind of don't see that happening, but I'm all for that.
Well, I haven't seen The Mandalorian, so this may not be a good comparison. But if you were to take sort of that approach, that almost spaghetti western feel, which I think the original Kung Fu series tried to have.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the more I think about it, if they going the movie route is not the right way to do this though. Because if they were, I would be more excited if they were, think of The Mandalorian or something, to where they're like, it's going to be a series on Netflix or HBO or even Disney, I guess, if they do it right.
You could toss a coin
To your Witcher and
to your grasshopper.
yeah,
And then he would have to snatch it. That's the only scene I'm going to reference. Just snatching the pebble from his hand. Except it'll be a coin. It'll be like, snatch the coin from the air.
Man, I would be way more excited
From your
about
Witcher.
a modern kung fu series. That could be good.
So,
Yeah.
silence.
Yeah.
I know. I stopped talking. Keep talking. I'm reading.
I don't know. I don't know what else to say about Kung Fu. I like Kung Fu.
I don't think I've ever actually watched Kung Fu, to tell you the truth.
I think I watched.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I think I watched more of like the sequel series, Kung Fu: The Legend Continues, which was that on Fox at one point, like in the 90s, where it was the boy, but he was grown up and he was like a detective because that's what you do.
You girls want to become a detective?
I mean, but I guess when you're the son of Kwai Chang Caine.
You become Iron Fist.
There's an Enter the Dragon remake in the works. No. Okay, why? Now I'm upset. Now I'm upset. Kung Fu, maybe. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Enter the Dragon. What's the point? Don't do it. Just go watch Enter the Dragon.
Yeah. unless you get hologram James Dean to play the role.
Not Bruce Lee.
No. Computer generated James Dean.
See, they're wrong. They can't bring back actors in CGI. Just James Dean.
Yeah. Just him.
When is this news from? This is just from a few days ago. Kung Fu movie remake. Oh, that's the same article I just read. Why did this link just link me? Whatever. That's the remake news I got. The sequel news I have is Captain Marvel sequel officially in development.
Mm-hmm.
People like that movie.
They did?
It made literally $1 billion.
I liked it.
$1.13 billion.
Did you see that? Yeah,
We seen that. Yeah,
Well,
it was okay.
It was forgettable to me because I don't remember it.
I do think it's one of the more forgettable of the Marvel movies, but I mean, it's okay with all the upset white guy outrage online about it. I was like, is it just upset white guy outrage, or is it like actually kind of a crappy movie? And we watched it, and I was like, oh, no, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's not great.
Mainly,
I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, there was a lot of subpar solo movies. You know, I mean, I think it's as good as Doctor Strange was, and I like Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like Doctor Strange too, but I don't know if it was as good as Doctor Strange. It was still better than Thor, though.
Yeah. The first Thor movie was awful.
Yeah,
the first two Thor. I take that back.
I like the first one. Okay, the second one was very slow comparatively.
I take that back. The first Thor movie was Thor Ragnarok. There was no other Thor movie.
there was no other.
They made some movies with a character they called Thor. It wasn't until Ragnarok they actually made a Thor movie.
Ragnarok, they totally redeemed themselves.
They retroactively made the first two better in that
Yeah.
I don't ever have to watch those if I want to watch a good Thor. I'll just watch Ragnarok.
It's just facts. It's facts.
Okay, yeah, Captain. Whatever. There's not much here. That's just basically officially production has started on Captain Marvel 2.
So
they're not much there. That's the whole problem.
I'm getting comments though.
True. Let's hear them.
Lisa says they are pissed at the actress and rude comments she made about men. So not the movie. And then Ben says, I liked Captain Marvel after watching it a couple of times, honestly. That's how I usually go with Marvel movies. I like them more, or I like them the more I watch them. So I mean, rewatch value.
Yeah, I've only watched it once. And who had the first comment?
Lisa.
And yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, Lisa's totally right. That is why there was a lot of I'm not a big fan of Brie Larson. I don't think she's terrible, but I'm not one of those people that are like, well, she said this, I'm offended for all my downtrodden white men. But I did hear like she didn't come out the best. She didn't come out the best with those comments. So I kind of get that, but like, yeah.
All those downtrodden white men.
They're so whiny.
Can't a white man get a break?
Except all of them.
Yeah. That reminds me, I'm not going to segue to Doctor Who yet, but I was watching some Doctor Who reviews on YouTube. It's a dangerous thing to do at this point in time.
I'm sure.
There's one review about this most recent episode, and I was like, for the most part, the dude was very upset about it. And for the most part, I was like, yeah, I'm on board. Yeah, you're right. It was this and that and this and that, and then he's like, and then the doctor looks at Tesla like he's a piece of crap, like she looks at all men. I'm like, oh, okay, I see.
And they're waiting your point. Oh, I see it. It's over there now.
YouTube, forget I watched that video. Do not recommend more of those.
Nope, that's the algorithm now.
Like she looks the way she looks at all men. It's like, wow, dude. Yeah. Okay, you're really still just, sore that it's a woman. It's okay. Do we want to do other news? Let's see. What's the other sequel news?
Yeah.
The director of, I believe that was the director of Blade Runner 2049, which I have never seen.
Yeah, me either.
I need to. Apparently, he would be very interested in doing another Blade Runner movie, but not a sequel. He wants to do more movies in that universe, but he doesn't feel like there needs to be a sequel, another sequel.
He smells that Mandalorian money.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah. We could put a baby Harrison Ford in it, and everybody will take it.
Dude, give baby Harrison Ford a cup that says, never tell me the odds. And just make every fandom mad. Oh, and put a Stetson on him. I want baby Harrison Ford now. In everything. More babies.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they big heads.
Well, speaking of Mandalorian, along those lines, Obi-Wan. Oh, it's Obi-Wan. When you look at the spelling of it, really messes that word up. Obi-Wan Disney Plus series on hold as the crew is sent home.
Okay.
So this is actually kind of, I'm not a Star Wars guy, but Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and Ewan McGregor was actually poised, as this says, to reprise his role.
Yeah. As
the younger, still
Obi-Wan.
Actually living actor to play Obi-Wan.
Right.
But apparently it's been put on hold, and the crew had been assembled in London. They've been sent home. No time frame has been given, and the crew was told. This is according to Collider.com. The crew was told that the show would be down indefinitely.
Well, that's not good.
Apparently, according to Collider has been hearing that Lucasfilm president and Obi-Wan producer Kathleen Kennedy was not happy with the scripts. Their sources tell them that what will most likely happen next is the scripts will be reworked with the hopeful goal of reassembling this summer. But there's always the possibility that time frame could shift. Whatever. So basically, what's this? Update? Update is apparently, according to Hollywood Reporter, Lucasfilm is looking for a new writer to replace the other writer.
So that makes me wonder, like, how bad were these scripts? Like, what was the story? Was it basically just like Ewan McGregor in a cave in Tatooine, just like talking to himself?
So
like, what's going on there?
According to one source, the Kenobi story treaded similar ground as Mandalorian, seeing the Jedi Master lending a protective hand to a young Luke and perhaps even a young Leia. What?
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 But didn't that happen and not happen?
Did they know each other as children? Because the whole first movie, them kissing, be real awkward if they're like, "Oh yeah, no, I remember you." This.
so okay, it's like that. See, I'm gonna make a really bizarre reference now. Beverly Hills Ninja, the Chris Farley movie, you know, where he's like out there doing things, and then I forget what the actor's name is, but he played Liu Kang in the first, probably the first and second Mortal Kombat movies. Yeah. So that guy is out there like basically making sure that he's a success. So it's basically that. So it's just like Moisture Farmer Luke just out there. Oh no, he might get hit in the head by Tusken Raider Boulder or something. And nope. there's Ewan McGregor using the Force over there. Oh,
and Luke never even knows he's there.
Nope. Just oblivious the whole time.
I love. You know what? Actually, Luke did know. Oh, old Ben. Okay.
Oh, old Ben. Yeah, he heard the legend.
That is hilarious. I would. That can't be the case because I would watch that movie or that
show. that could be a pretty interesting show. I don't know. It'd be bizarre. I don't know how you make a whole series out of that.
Well, they wouldn't have to. They just only need to make 6 episodes. That's what was planned, and apparently they're going to scale that back to 4 now and rewrite everything. You know, it's bad when they're like, it was only going to be 4 episodes.
It's all just Luke wanting to go get power converters at the Tashi station or something.
Oh, you could go like sitcom style or like a cartoon where it's basically it's Mr. Magoo. It's like the same scenario over and over, just different hijinks, different, you know.
Luke sneaks out at night so he can like pilot through and what did they do? Hunt swamp rats? Or I'm getting all my A New Hope references jumbled, but
wait, swamp rats? Were they on like a desert planet?
I don't know what they were called. I don't think it was swamp rats, but yeah.
Jasper says, I get that they finally have Star Wars and whatnot, but I think they need to kind of take it slow with saturating the market with what feels like 15 new shows. I feel the same about Marvel. Jasper, that is a great point, and because I feel like that's what happened with the movies. They're just like, whoa, this prints money, and so they just pump them out until you get like to Solo, and you know, critically, and I don't know, did Solo still make its money?
I'm not sure.
I gotta imagine. But...
They definitely got a sour taste in their mouth at one point when they're like, whoa. This trilogy we had planned with this director, scrap that. This other trilogy we had planned with this director, scrap that. Like the fact that once Disney was like, once they started to see diminishing returns on the Star Wars movies.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it wasn't just scrapping movies, it was scrapping planned trilogies of movies, just goes to show, like, yeah, maybe they should have slowed down. This is to touch back on Doctor Who, which we'll get to again. Paul was saying, I'm happy Jodie will be the Doctor for another season. Very unhappy it will be the same writing team. You and me both.
It won't be?
It will be.
It will be.
Well,
Well,
then,
I mean,
I would prefer if she could have a good writing team.
Yeah.
well, he's
Because I
very...
think she would be a good doctor if she had good, stuff to work with.
Yeah, no, he said he's glad that she'll be back, but not glad that the same... And it's not so much the same writing team, because they kind of like switch out writers from episode to episode, season to season. But yeah, I'm assuming it will be Chibnall. They grossed 92 million worldwide. Was that Solo?
I think so.
Ooh, I mean, that sounds like amazing, but
It's not Star Wars money.
no.
Like
yeah.
Star Wars is kind of in its own league when it comes to money.
Monarch. Sorry.
It'll make money.
Money. Okay, just a couple stories real quick I wanted to mention. Have you guys seen Parasite? It's a new movie. It's got all kinds of Oscar nominations, but it's by I think it's a South Korean movie, or at least it's by South Korean director Bong Joon-ho. And I don't know. I keep hearing about it. I don't know what it's about. I guess it's kind of artsy, but I still keep hearing lots about it. It's supposed to be amazing. Apparently, he's in talks. This is according to TheWrap.com. Potentially to make it into make a series based on it, which is essentially he described as a 6-hour-long movie for HBO.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's
just enough like confusing but kind of interesting to mention. But
well, if they went with the whole Hateful Eight model, and they kind of it's technically this long movie, but they make it episodic. Yeah, if they make it in chapters, then that could be pretty interesting.
I'm guessing that's what it would be.
Oh yeah.
So the film
Cobra Kai is basically a 7-hour, whatever, or 5-hour.
I mean, not necessarily, but a lot of modern seasons of very serialized TV could be looked at that way. But I think they're oftentimes still written with the episodic structure in mind.
Mm-hmm.
The film centers on four members of a poor family who scam their way into the employ of a much wealthier family. And it would basically be an HBO adaptation. I don't know what this is, so I should stop talking about it, but sounded interesting. Let's see. Paul says, and Jasper was commenting, yeah, that was the 392 million worldwide was for Solo. Paul says the Obi-Wan book is perfect for a series and is set post retcon. There's an Obi-Wan book.
So this would be the new canon, I'm assuming.
Here, Jasper, I'm just going to put your comment on the screen.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know what book he's referencing though, for sure.
Right. We don't read books.
Justice League Snyder Cut campaign, everybody's favorite.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that some more.
Why
don't we just talk about garden gnomes while we're at it?
You mean things that don't exist, or if they do, we'll never see it?
Right.
I mean, I guess technically garden gnomes do exist, but not necessarily the living creatures. No. Okay, so Snyder Cut campaign has raised a ton of money for charity.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it. Just like,
wait, what?
Yeah.
The Snyder Cut. So there's an organization now called the Snyder Cut. Like, it has really grown beyond what may or may not even exist.
Right. So
That's kind of incredible and baffling at the same time.
That's why
That's incredible baffling.
I don't latch on to every Snyder Cut story that comes along, and there are a lot of them for whatever reason still. But this one caught my eye. As part of this is according to cinemablend.com, as part of the campaign's attempt to draw notice and support, those calling to, quote, release the Snyder Cut, end quote, because like there's not better things to rally around today.
Yeah, there's nothing else going on, is there, Randy? Anything? Okay.
Everybody
Snyder Cut. That's the real issue of the
ignore
day.
everything. Yeah, that's the issue. That's the one issue we need to focus on. Releasing a movie that will probably be terrible if it even exists.
I mean, basically releasing a movie that already does exist in another format.
In another format
that may or may not exist.
That people probably would have hated had the theatrical version not whatever.
Had it been the original version, yeah.
Because everybody loved Batman v Superman. Anyway, so those calling for that,
they have their own was it 501c or whatever? They've got their own not-for-profit now, or
well, this is actually kind of an interesting but weird. This got to be a weird way to tie into the whole thing. But they've held a variety of fundraising events on behalf of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, which, if you think about events around Zack Snyder's direction of that movie, kind of makes sense. And apparently it was revealed that they've raised approximately $156,000 for the foundation.
Well, at least they're doing something like good at the same time. I mean, I will give them. I'm going to give them that amount of props. I mean, that's fair.
I agree.
You take your anger and use it for something good, I guess.
I mean, at least they're actually accomplishing something on the main goal that they have. I don't know why I'm going to trash talk it. I'm intrigued. Like, honestly, I'm intrigued. Yeah. I kind of want the Snyder Cut to happen, just because, like, it's that part of me that it's like they set stuff up in Batman v Superman, and even though I didn't like Batman v Superman, I want to know what they set up. Yeah, I'll hate on it later, but I want to know what it is now.
Right. Yeah, we want more parademons.
Yeah. Flash. I want to see Flashpoint handled poorly.
more totalitarian Superman, please.
What other? Please, we have more news, right?
Nope.
ComingSoon.net says official title for Chris Rock's Saw reboot possibly revealed? ?
Saw's getting a reboot? Did they ever stop making Saws in the first place?
Saw getting a reboot, and then Chris Rock?
That's where I was going. I was like, Chris Rock's doing things?
I think we've done this story maybe this summer about he has some connection to another Saw movie.
I never saw it. See, I never saw. No, okay.
Okay, so according to ComingSoon.net, after over 4 months since production has wrapped on Lionsgate's Saw reboot, the studio still hasn't released any official details about the Chris Rock-led film's title or plot.
What world are we living in?
Where there's a Saw reboot starring Chris Rock?
Like you read it, and then you read it again, and it sounded weirder the second time, and I should have been prepared.
You can't. Nothing can prepare you for this. Oh, okay, this might be the first Saw movie in history that I'm kind of interested in.
You
were interested in the first one? The first one was pretty good.
I mean, it was okay. I watched it and was like, okay, that's all right. And then the other ones happened, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
I've seen the first 3. That was more than I need. To continue quoting ComingSoon.net, this particular installment of the long-running horror franchise comes from a story by Chris Rock, who will co-star with Samuel L. Jackson.
Are you serious?
Whoa.
Now we have to watch it.
Rock plays a police detective investigating a series of grisly crimes with Jackson playing his father.
One of them's gonna
If
die.
if it were set on a plane, and then they asked if he wanted to play a game, then he could be like, "Get these games off this MF plane."
Yep.
I'm in.
Get these murder trap games off this murder trap plane.
There.
That's the
Hey.
quote.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Poster.
Boom. And it's just like a jigsaw mask over a plane. Right?
Yes. Yes, it is. Wow. Okay. Okay. I'm still trying to find where this supposed maybe title is.
But they already filmed it and everything.
Apparently,
That's craziness.
it's due in theaters maybe May 15th of this year. Okay.
Okay, well,
Wasn't the whole story
it
of
is-
the whole headline is like the titles maybe revealed?
That's the news.
Oh, what?
I don't know. Tell us, Randy.
First off, the sources for this story are highly suspect. This I
Is
think
it Twitter?
much like my reason for picking this story up, much like my reason for picking the story up is just a reason to talk about the movie again. But many fans on Reddit are now speculating.
There we go. That's who is this ghost actually?
Twitter's a
It's Reddit. It's old man Reddit.
almost
We thought it was Twitter. Who is it really Twitter? No, it's old man Reddit. And he would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for Chris Rock and his band of misfits.
So get this. Here's the potential. Here's what Reddit. And if I'm wrong, if this is whatever,
Did you
This
read
seems-
it wrong?
here's what Reddit thinks it might be. Spiral from the Book of Saw.
What?
Spiral, from the Book of Saw. That's a bad title.
yeah, it is.
Spiral?
From the Book of Saw. You say the whole thing, sir.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize.
They say it like it's a thing we should know, like the Book of Saw. It's not a
Oh,
thing.
well, they're basing that. I mean, to be fair, okay. I know we kind of trash talked Reddit, but to be fair, if you need something researched, like if you need detective work done online, Reddit is where you turn to because those people,
Oh, they will eat you alive.
they got this is what they live for. But apparently, this is based on a title listed on the website of the film's Canadian distributor, Mongrel Media.
Okay.
So I mean, they didn't just invent that title. So
That's true. We should have led with this. This is
I know.
incredible.
I thought this was just be such a throwaway story. I mean, the story itself is such a throwaway story. I'm jumping all over the place. Here's another one. Original Ghostbusters. They the cast, many of the remaining cast,
Yeah.
have been confirmed for the new Ghostbusters Afterlife film, and they shot their scenes over a week.
Okay. Was
The
that
headline is original Ghostbusters cast shot Afterlife scenes over 1 week.
is that the one that with the people, the kid from
Yeah.
Okay.
The Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Stranger Busters. Ghost Things.
Ghost things. Yep.
There's, this is according to, let's see, that's comingsoon.net, but they're quoting Vanity Fair. Did I not link? Normally I try to get the original article. But basically they said Vanity Fair reported that Murray was definitely on the set at various times during that week last fall, as were Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson reprising their respective roles. Also visiting the location during those days were Annie Potts, who played Janine,
Mhm.
and Sigourney Weaver.
Really? That surprises me a little bit.
Mm-hmm. No, what's his name? The little guy. I know he doesn't act anymore.
Martin.
Harold Ramis.
Well, yeah,
no,
that's
I
it.
know he doesn't.
No,
act
no,
anymore.
no, not him. No. Wow. Whoops.
That's
Lewis. Oh man.
See,
Why
it
am
wouldn't
I-
be him any the way if they went the CGI route. It'd just be James Dean as Harold Ramis.
yeah. There you go. There it is.
Stranger Ghost Things.
He quit acting to take care of his children because he's a good dad.
Yeah, but he like legit. Yeah, he quit acting. I seen there was some interview with him a while back, and he looks good. It's not like a lot of times actors they quit acting and like you see him and you're like, oh, what have you been doing? No, he's just living life.
Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Paul says Murray there physically but mentally. I mean that could be argued. I did watch
For
recently.
the last
I
decade, you don't know.
That could be.
He doesn't
argued
want
most
you
of
to
his
know.
career.
Yeah.
From what I understand, all those old SNL guys, they like to party.
They like- Is there anyone out there that doesn't actively like a good party? I mean, a good
I
party.
hate them. I hate
Yeah?
the party.
All right.
Bill
I
Murray-
wake up every day. I'm like, let's not party.
Bill Murray's always showing up at other people's parties, so he must love all parties.
He's such an interesting, strange guy. I recently watched the movies that made us episode for, well, all of them except Dirty Dancing because I wasn't interested in Dirty Dancing, but that's a girl show. Yeah,
Nobody puts Randy in a corner.
that's right. And in my corner, no Dirty Dancing.
Nope.
It's like Footloose up in my corner. No dancing.
No dancing. Oh boy. Winston Churchill said so.
Yes, thank you. Reference him. Oh my god. Oh, he was so
That
good.
is a super deep cut for anybody that's not watching The Crown on Netflix, which you should be because season 3 was amazing.
I still have to finish it. It got so
Oh,
depressing.
it's so good. Oh, yeah, but it's such a good British depressing. So very British. Super duper. Royally British. Get it? Because they're royals. Yeah.
And you talk about me and Dirty Dancing being girly.
Don't you say a sour word about the Queen.
And the only reason I like Dirty Dancing, I don't really even like it. It's just ingrained in me because my sisters watched it 5 billion jillion times when I was growing up, so I know it. I don't necessarily love it.
I grew up in a house of mostly women. I know.
I don't like Patrick Swayze. I don't like Richard Gere either. They both disturb me.
They disturb you?
Yes, they do.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
Patrick Swayze's dead, so
Well, I know, but
that's a little disturbing.
when he was not, he disturbed me.
Hmm.
They both feel like creepers, Like I don't want to leave anyone alone in a room with them.
Okay, I get Richard Gere. He just seems like a jerk. I don't know that he is, but he seems like he'd be a jerk.
He's got to be.
Patrick Swayze didn't seem like a creeper to me. I
He
don't really
is-
understand his appeal.
He
but-
would be a creeper after he got drunk or something.
Oh, probably. It's because he kind of has that meathead way about him.
I think he was well known for being like the super nice guy, though.
Yeah, he did seem like
When
a
he was
nice.
drunk.
I don't know.
See, there you go.
not enough drunken Swayze reports, apparently. That's not a thing I thought I'd say this morning.
Sonic the Hedgehog. That's how I segue.
Good job. Hey, it was a really quick segue, like Sonic.
That's right.
It's super fast, and he likes gold.
I got my little red and white
rings.
shoes on. So, industry analysts, that's set to open, I think, this weekend.
Is it?
Is it this weekend?
Probably. Yeah.
When is it for sure? Well, it's coming up here. Well, industry analysts are, whatever. They always box office predictions, I guess. Projections is what they would call them. but they're actually estimating that it might bring in. They're estimating like 47 million opening weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be the case. I just assumed, regardless, they decided to spend a ton of money to rework all of the visual effects or not. I assumed it was going to bomb, but who knows?
Yeah, it will. That's my estimate too.
Deadline says males under 25 are all in for this.
I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog actually has a pretty robust fan base, which is probably why it got like panned so quickly and so heavily. So I don't know.
I'm still impressed that they
Listened, yeah.
that they went back and reworked. I mean, maybe it wasn't totally finished when that first trailer came out, but I mean, it means they had to completely redo the visual effects for every scene Sonic was in. And it's the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, so that couldn't have
Yeah, you would think he's going to be in a lot of them.
Yeah, a few.
Uh,
Detective Pikachu did pretty well, right?
Yeah.
And this feels like, even though I know Pokemon and Sonic's not the same thing, it feels almost like the same demographic that would be into it.
I don't know who the hell would be into either one of them.
What were you gonna say?
Movies are not doing well now, though, at all. Any of them.
No, it seems like some Disney movies do well, and then nothing else can break through.
I guess maybe. But weren't there even some of those? Weren't they? Didn't they not do well?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about like Solo and stuff, making over $300 million, not doing well. But when they spend,
seems like a strange metric there.
Yeah.
Like, man, I only made 300 something million.
I think the only other bit of news I had, I didn't expect to spend an hour on news. Wow. The only other bit of news I had is, well, apparently Universal Orlando's got a new Epic Universe Park, and Super Nintendo Land is officially confirmed to be a part of this.
That kind of sounds awesome. I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know it either.
So like, will they do like, because that's where they have the Harry Potter thing, right? Like they have the Diagon Alley and it's all Harry Potter land. Like, will I walk in and there will be like green tubes everywhere and I might get eaten by a plant?
That'd be awesome.
And mean mugging mushrooms? Like
the idea of walking into like Super Mario Brothers 1-1 in real life does sound super appealing,
right?
To me, actually. Or Mario, basically anything Mario Brothers 3. Well, this would be Super Nintendo Land, so it'd be Super Mario World, whatever. Anything Super Mario, to where, yeah, like crazy saturated greens and pipes, and
I want to punch a brick
blocks.
And not have it bleed my hand.
I want to punch a brick, get a mushroom out of it.
Pow!
Yeah, you gotta headbutt a brick, man.
Better yet, Ram Man. I like where your head's at. Let's do this. Headbutt a brick.
Yeah, because kick some
And
turtles.
not get a concussion. Get a concussion.
What are those? Those are like turtle chickens.
Yeah, Koopas. Or dinosaurs if you watch the movie, which was awful.
Yeah,
I did that movie.
I seen that. That's the second terrible 90s movie we've mentioned this episode that I seen in the theaters.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I went and saw that too because I love Super Mario Brothers. I didn't love that movie, but
yeah,
that's because everybody was drunk when they were making it.
I will say, like, if it wasn't Mario, it kind of could have been a cool movie because it's such a weird aesthetic. It's just so the exact opposite of what a Mario movie should be. I'm reading comments. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not.
I don't know. I don't know if I trust this.
All right. I hit Paul's offer of
$50.
He can hook you up with that type of experience.
What does that mean? I don't know. Don't answer me. I don't want to know what that would entail. I've thought better of this now.
of headbutting bricks and stuff.
of a $50 version of that experience.
Headbutt a brick and get a chicken turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That changes everything. You throw the chicken turtle in there, everything's different.
It's like the circus version of whatever Universal Studios is going to do. Or the carnival version.
Painted it's cardboard boxes with like, wet paint on it still. Get in there, jump around.
Oh no.
That's all I got for the news. That really went way longer than I expected. Do we still want to talk Doctor Who? I honestly don't have a whole lot to say about this most recent episode, but
Wait, what's the most recent episode?
Nikola Tesla.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. Well, the most recent, what was it? Season or series 12, episode 4. What was it? The night Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror or something was the title.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of this?
It was better than the last one, but that was not a very high bar.
Yeah. That's my review.
Yeah.
You guys continue.
Nikola Tesla was way too charismatic and likable in this. I don't think that was anywhere near what he was like. He went much more awkward and strange.
I feel like they embraced that just slightly after that initial scene. The initial scene is definitely not a good introduction if you're going for like what he was supposed to be like. Mm-hmm. But no, he's still fairly suave throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
So should have had Bowie. No, I'm just couldn't have, but
What?
Nothing.
He should have been David Bowie.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is he should have been CGI James Dean as David Bowie as Nikola Tesla.
Exactly. There we go. I'm on board.
Would have. Yeah, this episode, man, it's to be honest, it's hard to do worse than the last episode. I so hate that last episode. This episode was better. It was just boring. Oh, and the villain, like the big evil villain.
Yeah, they seemed like they were. I kept thinking they were recycled. Like, was that the Rachnos? Or like
I think
no, not even the Rachnos, but like the spider. It was like the spider creature, but a scorpion.
Yeah. No,
only somehow more inept because the only thing they could do was steal things, and like that made for excellent quips from the Doctor. But yeah,
but Randy kept commenting on this too. She acted like she was afraid of him, though.
The Doctor?
Yeah.
No, yeah, because everything about this season, everything about these last two seasons is just wrong. It's not quite proper. It's like, you're right. They do seem recycled, but they're new. If everything you do is just going to feel like a recycled, like a rehash or an on-original, if it feels like you're just robbing what Doctor Who's already been done, just do the same monsters again. Just have them come back. Like, you're not really doing new monsters if your monsters just feel like cheap imitations of monsters that are already on the show.
Right.
And then the other thing is, like, the Doctor doesn't feel like the Doctor. And it's not necessarily Jodie Whittaker's performance. Maybe it is, but it comes down to like the creative decisions. Because my big beef was, so these creatures start threatening Earth and all this, and it's like any other Doctor, at least any other modern Doctor, first off, probably wouldn't have taken these monsters seriously because they've displayed no ability to do anything that they threatened. But even if they did think they were a credible threat, wouldn't act scared. That's when they get like intense. It's like, no, this is Earth. It's protected. Blah, 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 blah. And this Doctor was like, acted scared, acted like what the villain was saying was actually a credible threat. It's like, none of it rung true.
I agree.
I think, like, looking for positives, I think that she get. I know.
I'm sorry.
I think that they've done a better job of giving her one-liners that sound like the Doctor. I mean, there was that moment where she catches Tesla in a lie, and that's like the intro. The intro is like, you're brilliant, and you're a big fat liar.
Mhm.
And it was like, okay, well that felt like a doctory moment. But that's the thing, is I guess that's also my criticism, is that it feels like doctory moments, and it should be more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
It should just be the Doctor.
I also hated
Right.
the way that the monster villain thing was filmed. It would constantly go to this funky close up of her face, the scorpion queen.
You had to see that her teeth were hooked like little pincers at the end.
It looked
super duper scorpion-y. Everything scorpion.
It was laughable. It was cringy, like, and again, whoever was playing this scorpion lady, maybe it's not her fault, but like, whoa, dial it back a little bit. Like, yeah, they might have makeup. You don't have to act through the makeup. It's on you. Just act. Like, dial it back. That's probably not her decision. It was probably a directorial thing. Paul says she is a solid Doctor. The show doesn't feel like Doctor Who. And she needs to stop looking at men like they're garbage.
If you're just now joining us, that's a callback to earlier.
It is a callback. That's not my opinion. I don't know. I don't know where I was going. But Paul has a Sabbath. They want her to fail, which I think is a reference to they don't want us there. I don't think they want her to fail. I think they want the season. I mean, I think the creative team is trying, and I think BBC is trying to make the most current Doctor Who they can. I think they are failing. It just doesn't feel like a quality show to me.
Well, I posted about it earlier because I am glad that she's going to get a third season, and part of the reason that I'm glad she's getting that third season is that I feel like she's just barely getting started. She's really had a rough launch, because it only now is starting to feel like she's getting started, because last season wasn't even about her. It didn't feel like it was about her hardly at all. She was there, but that was about it. And now we're starting to see her Doctor a little bit, because they're finally letting her Doctor do some things, either with whatever the guest is that week. I mean, that's what it's starting to feel like. It's like, oh, this week the Doctor runs around with Tesla in the TARDIS and springs a trap. Last week, let's have a couple of other characters that run around with the Doctor while the other guys just kind of fumble about.
No, I think you're right. Like, the last season, it wasn't about her. It was about the companions, and this set of companions to me are really boring. But I think since they are kind of focusing not so much on her, they could still focus more on her, but giving her more to do and focusing kind of more on the guest, or the themed historical figures of the episode. The companions truly are feeling like as useless as they are. Like, they don't. Especially in this episode, what are they doing? They're just there. There's really no reason.
They're like cheerleaders in this one.
Listen,
that's basically it.
Doctor Who, it's okay. And by Doctor Who, I mean the show itself. It's okay. The Doctor can leave them home for a weekend while they, I don't know, try to deal with the fact that the head of Google declared them some type of world enemy, but leave them home for a weekend and go have a solo adventure. You don't, just because they're the companions doesn't mean you have to write them into episodes where they don't really belong.
Yeah, the Doctor used, even when they had companions or when they had solo episodes occasionally, but, you know.
Yeah.
And why do they continue to have modern companions? Why can't they have future or past or alien companions and, make it exciting, spice it up a bit?
Yeah, I mean that's one thing. Like this episode and episode 2 this season really is like enforced that I find it way more interesting when if you could pull a companion from the past.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't have to be the historical figure, an actual historical figure, but pull somebody like that from the past where they got to deal with not only just alien stuff, where they have to deal with like future stuff, where the future stuff is even more futuristic than it is for a modern person. I think that's whatever.
You know what I would love to see now that you put that bug in my brain. The Eighth Doctor traveled with Mary Shelley.
Oh, yeah.
13 going back, picking up Mary Shelley again, lending credence to the Big Finish audio dramas, or just introducing us to the concept that she could travel with a historical figure and it would be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be pretty fun. Real quick, Lisa has chimed in on this a little bit. She says, so just give her time, like the Marvel movies, you like the second time that you watch it. And I think that's kind of what I was getting at, is like she needs more time. She's had some time, but she really hasn't had time. I feel like Capaldi is a good example. If we were going to go 1-to-1, Jodie and Capaldi's whole first season was Who's the Doctor. Jodie still hasn't gotten that. This is like her first Capaldi series kind of thing. Like, then it was second season of Capaldi. We knew who his doctor was, and it was just fun to see him interact in stories, whether they were good or not. And not all of them were perfect, but his doctor was consistent at that point. And so it was easier to get on board with anything that he would do. And I feel like that's what we need from Jodie's doctor this season, is to get that. And then next season could be great.
I worry not so much about Jodie's doctor. I worry that the show, that Chibnall, that the creative team, it kind of feels like they don't know how to get there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they don't know how to approach that. The doctor.
I had a disconnect when we got Matt Smith, when we got 11. It took me a while to warm up to him and Moffat, but we had a lot more to go on when it came to Moffat. So I guess we had a little bit more reason to have faith, I guess. I don't know.
At first.
Yeah.
I do have positive things to say about this episode, though. It's so easy to just get on a tear, though. It's so easy because this episode was kind of disappointing. It was disappointing, but some of the Tesla stuff was okay, and some of the Thomas Edison stuff was okay. And I did like the episode's the main goal. Yeah, the monster was redundant, or not redundant, but derivative and kind of lame. And honestly, when you think about their threat against the entire world, doesn't make sense because all their crap was broken. They were trying to find a random human to fix it. I know it's not just a random human, but anyway, the main purpose of the episode really seemed to be to highlight, it was a historical. We're going to highlight this fact about this person or this set of people in history. And it was Tesla and how Edison was kind of a D-bag. And I'm all for that story. That's a fun story because it's true. And so that kind of, I appreciate that. I appreciate an episode of Doctor Who from that angle. And that, I think the execution of it was, I think the episode was a little dull, but that's a good idea for a story. So I'm all for that.
That real quick.
Yeah.
One more thing against the companions. None of them knew who he was. How do none of them know who Tesla is? Right there. They're not good.
Yeah, that was kind of hard to.
Did Graham not know?
Graham didn't know. Like none of them knew.
I could get maybe the other two because they're younger.
Right.
And it'd almost be the jokes like, millennials don't know anything. But like, not even Graham knew? That's weird to me. They need to watch The Prestige.
Yep. I kind of like Mandip.
I don't mind if she stays, but they need to get rid of the other two. The men.
Oh, see, they can't get rid of the other two because the YouTubers will be super upset.
Oh God, yeah. I can't imagine.
So this YouTuber, God, man. Like I said,
Which one? Because there's one that I would peek in on every once in a while just to get that perspective. But ultimately, I don't get that perspective. So,
well, there's over the past couple of days because of Edison stealing his thunder, stealing his lightning.
I mean, that's why.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What?
That's why they don't know who he is because of Edison's stories.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but so what? He's way cooler. Everybody should know who he is.
But that's the thing. Then the revelation of he invented Wi-Fi. I mean, like that got laughable after a while. I was like, wait a minute, Tesla did this too.
Or about he invented alternating current, which is what we use.
Right.
I'm sorry. Just or maybe it's because I studied electricity for a while.
Well, Melanie, it's fine. Doctor Who informed everyone. Everyone knows who he is now.
Good. They better.
He's David Bowie.
No, there were a couple of reviews I come across over this last few days. Just because I like to kind of get the gauge like how an episode's being received.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, by the way, because there are like no middle ground reviews of this episode specifically. Like some people are like, oh, this was great, blah, blah, blah. And I love this and this and this. And then other ones are like, this is terrible. The show's just trash, blah, blah, blah. She hates men. But there are, I don't know. There's some YouTube channel I come across where you could tell right away. It's just like, oh, you're one of those. You're just like, regardless of the show, like you're mad that it's a woman. But the interview I was watching, or the review I was watching earlier today wasn't super clear. I watched it for like 5-6 minutes and I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, this guy's really worked up, but I get it. Like, he's not wrong. This was a boring episode. Until he got to the bit about like the doctor. He calls her the cosplay.
Oh, looks at it. Oh yeah.
He like calls her the cosplay doctor, which I was like, okay, I kind of get
on.
that, but that was when I was like, wait, no, this is starting to tilt a certain way. Then, and she's looking at Tesla like he's a piece of crap. This, like, she looks at all men. It's like, okay, dude.
Well,
don't get me wrong. I had a hearty laugh, but then I was like, done with that video.
Yeah, right.
I get it. What were you
going to say? It's the hyperbole of the reaction.
But she don't look at what made me think of that. And I know I already said at the beginning of the episode, but what made me think of that again is that's why you can't get rid of Graham and Ryan and keep the female companion, because
she's the better of the three.
You got to have at least one man in there that apparently she doesn't look at like is a piece of crap.
Her name is Mandip.
Her name is Mandip.
Yeah.
That feels like the end of an episode. Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. This is actually like, our energy was so low before we started this. I was like, I don't know what this episode's going to be. It was not bad. I'm surprised we spent almost an hour on news because none of it was really that interesting of news, but we made it interesting.
Hey, when you remake Saw again with the right people, that gets interesting.
Dude, Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson in a Saw movie.
Wow. Yeah.
The leads, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. I
feel like that's the chief takeaway of this whole evening right here is there's going to be a new Saw movie and it's Chris Rock's.
Yep.
Yeah, it's his. All right. I don't know what's coming up for sure. So, but there's more stuff. So always be sure to check out grawlixpodcast.com, GRAWLIX podcast.com. We're here on Facebook where you're probably watching this video. You might be watching it on YouTube later because I actually re-uploaded last week. So I might continue doing that, even though we kind of neglect YouTube because they neglect us.
They do.
We had a robust interaction tonight. Thank you to everybody that chimed in and interacted with us, because I think that helped feed our energy.
It does. It does, man. That's why we kept doing the live shows, because the interaction we got over the summer doing the live shows, that was the most surprising thing to me. And I was like, yeah, that was fun. So when we can, it's good to actually get that. You fuel us.
Yeah. Thanks,
You do.
Paul.
You complete this. You complete this show.
You complete us.
You complete us. You had me at hello. That's all you had to do was say hello.
That's it.
That's all I needed. Just a hi.
Okay, goodbye.
All right, everybody. Hey, Jesse, do you have anything to promote real quick? Do you have anything to pimp at people?
What just happened?
Good
I was on a show. Was it? Was I? I don't know. It's been a long week. Snow days, not snow days. But recently I was on an episode of Covert Nerd. I don't know if I mentioned that last week or not. Where we talked about Cobra Kai, one of my favorite shows ever. So go check out that episode. I mentioned Zeke and Barty Puppet Party last time. Check us out on Facebook. We've got a Facebook page. Yeah, we're doing some things.
Ooh,
I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't know. I don't know what it is.
This week I was on, or if you're listening to this on the audio feed later.
Oh, I was gonna pimp that. Sorry,
I was
go ahead.
On the 200th episode of Roman Podcast. They had me on the 100th episode, so they brought me back again for 200. Yeah, they did a live stream on Facebook. It seems like that's how they record their show now, which is fun. Stealing that. But they had me on the live stream, and then that becomes the audio episode later. So check out Roman Podcast. It was a good time. They just kind of talking about whatever. I didn't really have much to say until they turned it to like talking about podcasting, because that's what I'm engrossed in most of the time. But it was of course Roman and Rob.
Yep.
And they were joined by Rob Wade, who is on the Emotionally 14 podcast and some other podcasts. And it's a good time. Definitely check it out.
It was super fun. And I love how you guys all like devolved into the stereotype of each country that you were representing. Like you became this like sarcastic, bombastic, we're the best at everything American.
Because Rob Wade's from the UK, and
he was like he was self-deprecating and ironic, and then the Canadians were like super positive about everything, even the things they were getting wrong about you guys. Were like, yeah.
Roman said something at one point. I don't remember the segue he was making, but I think it was Roman. Maybe it was Robert, but something about how gently easing into America kind of having a obesity issue, and I was like,
oh yeah,
America's number one at all things,
including obesity. Yeah. It was super fun. You guys should check that episode out for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's all I got. Melanie,
Yep.
What's something they should be amazed of about this week?
They might have figured out a cure for cancers, like Paul.
That is something to be amazed about.
Yeah. Woo!
All right.
Woo!
All right. Thanks again, everybody. Talk to you later. We'll be back. That's it. I need to work on my.
That's both a promise and a threat. You're welcome.
We need a new like live episode sign off. What's the sign off?
Watch your language, and we'll watch ours. No, I don't know.
I was trying to end it there. It was still going. I was trying to end the broadcast there, but there's like a second button click, and then I was just like, nope, I'm just gonna keep it going.
You're gonna let me flounder on that.
Well, yeah, that's now the best part of this whole episode.
Oh, good.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye.
Watch your language.
Watch it.
And don't look at men like pieces of crap like the
No.
doctor does.
Yeah. 9 out of 10